It's okay to not be okay. It's just not okay to stay that way. The one thing I know about emotions is that they change. 1 hour from right now, you will not feel the same way. And I want to encourage you tonight that you might be in your darkest moment. You might be going through hell and high water, but I want to prophesy over your life. It is always too soon to quit. You have a reason to live. God declares your best days are in front of you. We love you. You don't have to do this. Having anxiety and depression is like being scared and tired at the same time. It's the fear of failure, but no urge to be productive. It's wanting friends, but hate socializing. It's wanting to be alone, but not wanting to be lonely. It's feeling everything at once, then feeling paralyzing numb. This is a picture of what anxiety and depression at times feels like. Yet what I'm learning more and more in life is that it's fear that causes anxiety. Anybody who's ever gone through depression would tell you that it's not just something in your mind, but rather it's something you feel in your body. As much as it's in your head, it's also in your stomach. You know, I've gone through different pain in my life and different obstacles in my life. I've been through some real challenges, yet this thing with anxiety, what's so strange about it is that sometimes it comes out of nowhere with the silliest stuff. And literally what I've learned in these moments of anxiety is that I have to stop listening to myself and I have to start talking to myself. I'm just being honest. So as God is my witness, I'm like, Rich, you're great. I'm like, look in the mirror, like, you can do this. Rich, you can handle this. Rich, this is not a big deal. Rich, this is gonna pass. You're just fine. Everybody here loves you, Rich. Everybody here is for you. Rich, you're amazing. Rich, this too shall pass. And as I started talking to myself instead of listening to myself, anxiety began to leave my body. Come on, somebody, if you know what I'm talking about. It's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of being out of control. We must learn to talk to ourselves, focus on the internal things that we can control rather than the external things that we can't control. Fear causes anxiety, but number two, what I see is that depression detaches us from people. This is always a sign of depression. Isolation is not where you want to fight your battles from. You don't want to fight alone. God's remedy for so much in our life is people. See, what happens is we start to get isolated. As we get isolated, we have all these new thoughts that come about. And some of you have been there before. You start saying to yourself, I'm so alone. I've never been more alone. Nobody understands me. Nobody gets me. I'm the only one to ever go through something like this. I'm a mess up. I'm a failure. I'd be better off not being here. Nobody would miss me. I'm all alone right now. Why would anybody care if I was gone? Here I am. I'm just alone. We just keep feeding ourselves this toxic thinking. Look at what Elijah does. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 10. This is what it says. He says, he's talking to God. He's like, God, I have zealously served the Lord God Almighty, but the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, torn down your altars and killed every one of your prophets. I am the only one left. What's he doing? He's comparing himself to everybody else around him. And his comparison is killing his contentment. Now they are trying to kill me too. This is a picture of what depression does. And what we must understand is that people are the solution. We cannot afford to go at it alone. I don't know what you're going through tonight, but you won't make it on your own. You need to open up your eyes and see that there are people all around you that care, but you have to open up your mouth. Nobody knows what you're going through if you don't say something. I don't know what kind of secrets you have in this place, but I know this: if nobody knows your secrets, you're in trouble. I'm not saying everybody's got to know your secrets. I'm saying somebody's got to know your secrets. For you will always be as sick as your secrets, and God will not heal what you continue to hide. You have to expose it. So often, the very thing that we're afraid of, it's not even as bad as fear itself. Fear is always false evidence appearing real. And when you abide in fear, you're gonna always be running for your life. That's why we're the people of God and we focus on our faith, because our faith always leads us to life and life more abundantly. See, you have to begin to decipher in life external versus internal. There are external components that you'll never, ever be able to be in control of. And whenever you start to put your focus on the external things, it leads to anxiety. What you have to do is you have to look within and focus on the internal things that you can control. Next week, we're talking on worry, and what I discovered about worry is that 90% of the things that you're worried about will never even happen. For 34 years, I've been worried about stuff that never even happened. So many of us today, our anxiety, it's stretching us thin. We're feeling out of control. Life is short. And there's young people in this church today, and I want to remind you, life is short. It's too short to live depressed. It's too short to live anxious. And it's too short to struggle every day with thinking about taking your life. I want to challenge you tonight to get up, that you're not quitting tonight, that one day it is appointed unto all men to die, but that is God's responsibility, not mine. And so I don't know who I'm preaching to tonight, but I want to say to you, get up. Your future is brighter than your past. I want to say to you in the balcony, get up. Your ladder is greater than your former. I want to say to every person in this room, get up, because the best is still yet to come. I got a God who works miracles. Come on and worship him in this house.